Jason is in Miami. Hey, Jason, what's up in your world, man?
Hey, Dave. How you doing today?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
Same here. I'm a financial advisor with $1.3 million in trailing 12 months revenue, 2 employees. I see a fork in the road coming in the next few years with our financial advising branch going much more independent than we already are, and I'm not sure what to do because I do not want to go that route. What would Dave do if he woke up in my shoes? 5 to 6 years ago, the owner of the company brought me in, taught me the ropes. 2 years later, the owner borrowed money to buy a retiring advisor out and gave me the clients. That took me from like 12 million in assets to 100 million. 2 years after that, he did it again. So, here we are 2 years later again, and total assets that I'm in charge of are 160 million. Total revenues, like I said, are 1.3 million. There's 12 people on the team overall. 2 work for me. The team has about 900 million in assets. There's illusions that the company would get more revenues if we go very independent. I just don't think that's realistic.
Very independent of your current broker-dealer or what?
Exactly, of our current broker-dealer, yeah. That we're missing out on something. So,
well, what is the broker-dealer providing from your perspective that an independent can't get? Because you're going to have a broker-dealer, right?
Exactly. They provide cybersecurity. They provide IT.
Yeah, but I mean, are you going to, when you say they go independent, they're going to be their own broker-dealer?
An RIA.
Yeah, but
registered investment advisor.
Yeah, but typically an RIA is going to have a broker-dealer also, aren't they?
Well, we would custody at any broker-dealer.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
The cheapest one, yeah. So I just don't think there's much. There's not much to gain. There's a lot to lose by going to some RIA. I think it would get, maybe we get a payday.
You think the broker-dealer brand is giving you this much business when all that you just explained to me that the business came from somewhere else? I'm confused.
I think the broker-dealer brand does give us quite a bit of business, but I think that what we take home is very, very, very high in the industry. So
what the current owner is complaining about is the cut.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
But it's a percentage term. It's very low single digits. And
now, technically, in your arrangement with your employer, do you own the book of business?
So yeah, in my mind, he borrowed the money to buy the clients.
No, not in your mind. I mean, you should have an agreement. Who owns the book of business? You think he owns it? He owns it.
I think he owns it, yeah.
Okay. So you're not trying to take the clients. You're not trying to take the book of business if you did something else. You would start from zero again.
Exactly. So.
Well, you desperately think this isn't going to work.
I really don't. I think that.
I mean, like $1 million worth, you think this is not going to work.
I think the book of business is worth, 1.6 to, or more $1 million. And, if we had to part ways, I would offer to buy the business from my portion of it.
Yeah, but he might not sell it to you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which you would start from zero.
Right. I'm very comfortable with that people would follow me.
Well, that is unethical.
Okay.
They're not your clients. You don't own them. The book of business we've established in this conversation is not yours, it's his. He bought it. He paid you to service it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's his clients, not yours. And so, doing anything that allows those people to follow you is taking business that is his business away from him. That's an ethics issue. Yeah, for sure it is. You got to start with no clients if you leave. Not the ones that happen to wander over because you passively aggressive let them know where you're going. Or they search you out or whatever. I mean, the way I answer ethics questions to myself is I just switch moccasins. What if you bought this book of business and hired a guy to service it for you? and blessed him with the ability to service it. And you're making good money. And you paid him a lot of money to service your book that you bought and let him build relationships with these clients. I mean, how would you feel if he left and those clients went to him?
I would hope if we parted ways, he would just buy the book out from me.
I know, but if he didn't, if you wanted to keep the business that you bought and paid for, and the guy leaves, and then he starts working your list, I don't think you'd feel good about that.
I agree. That's why we shouldn't be borrowing money to buy books anymore. I agree.
Well, and that's what I'm saying though is, yeah, I don't disagree with that either. But that's a different issue. You were talking about the ethics of it, and so when you leave, you're starting with zero, unless you have an ethics issue. If I'm understanding this right, I may be misunderstanding something.
No, I think you're getting it right. That I just really don't see any point in us going more independent than we already are to the RIA channel. I don't see any benefit to me. I don't see it. I just see I think we would drop the ball on something and it would be a disservice to the client. The broker dealer covers a lot of things for us.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. Well, I think you've got to emotionally and as far as what we call stage gating, the critical thinking through the possible scenarios, okay, as if you were building a flow chart to build a piece of software or run a project. Mm-hmm. You've got to flow chart this out, okay? There's 3 possible things that happen when you go into his office. One is he says, okay, I'll relent. We won't go. And you stay and you're happy, okay? 2, he says, see you later, alligator. And you start from nothing. And you say, but I'll buy the book. And he goes, no, I think I'll keep it. See you later, alligator. And you start with nothing. And you start your career over, basically. That's a real possibility here. 3 is he says, okay, you've been servicing these clients. They're going to be loyal to you. I'll sell you this book out for X. And then where are you going to get the money to buy that?
That's a great question. I'm on baby step 2, finishing up this month.
Yeah, you don't have the money to buy the book of business then.
Right.
So that's kind of off the table, isn't it?
Because I don't think he can afford to, have me, cash flow it back to him over the next 2.5 years.
Well, I don't know why he would. I mean, we've got SmartVestor Pros all over the nation. We work with RIAs. We work with people and broker-dealers all the time. I was just emailing with my SmartVestor Pro about he's changing his broker-dealer. And he's telling me what was going on with it. Just because he and I are friends, I was curious what his thinking was. I wasn't questioning him, but and he's just telling me this. And he's like everybody else. He's been buying books from guys that are retiring and building his business. And same exact thing you guys are doing. And I don't know why, if you're in that setting, that you would sell to a person who's leaving and finance it for them.
No, exactly.
For them to take 40%, 30% of your business away. And that, I think he would just say, well, I'll take my chances that these people will work with the other alligator I've got because I just said, see you later, alligator, to this one. Yeah, I don't think this is going to go well for you, Jason. I may be wrong. Your guy, your guy better than I know your guy, but I don't know how you're going to get this book. And so I think you're starting from nothing. And I don't think you ethically can take those clients that aren't yours. I think that's wrong. It's standard in your business. And by the way, if you aggressively try to take them, that's you're probably going to get sued and lose. I've seen that happen too, where people just took a book. They just went over and started marketing directly to them and started trying to take it. And that's your client list, It's not okay. We've had people leave here and try to use our client list in different areas, and we shut them down because they didn't pay to build that client list. I paid to build that client list, and I've shut them down. So I certainly wasn't going to send them with them. I paid to build it. I'm glad I have it, and so on. So I think you're probably going to have to work on deciding what your career track is here exactly, and how if I'm in your shoes, I'm probably going to go on the ride and try the other thing before I walk out the door with zero. and let's just see if you're right or not about the customer being served, and let's give that a run or not. I mean, without getting into the actual name brands of what you're dealing with here, I can't give you any advice as to whether what you're perceiving is accurate or not. It would depend on who you're talking about, and so I can't. And I probably would have an opinion, and wouldn't do either one of us any good to air that. So, yeah. All right. If I'm in your shoes, I'm going to try to ride it to the other thing, and or have a discussion about figuring out some way that you can leave, and under what conditions would he feel good about some of the customers going with me. And he volunteers and serves that up. But you just leaving and hoping they wander over and find you? No. No. If they start wandering over too often, you're going to have a legal problem. And you know that because you know who owns the book. Who owns this client list. That's what it amounts to. So, wow. Tight stuff. This is the EntreLeadership Podcast.